Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a huge challenge that, let's be honest, every new puppy owner faces, that dreaded teething phase. We're going to break down a super simple, totally natural, and incredibly effective solution that might just be sitting in your house right now.
So, does this sound familiar? You've got this adorable new puppy, but suddenly your shoes, your couch, even your hands have become public enemy number one? If you feel like all you do is say no, stop chewing that. I promise you, you're in good company.
Yeah, this is pretty much a universal experience. But here's the thing, that constant chewing isn't your puppy trying to be naughty. It's actually a cry for help, a reaction to something really uncomfortable that's happening inside their mouth.
Okay, so let's dive right into this teething tornado. Because, to really fix a problem, you've got to understand what's causing it in the first place. So why exactly does this little whirlwind of chewing rip through your house?
So here's the bottom line. Your puppy is in pain. I mean, think about it. Their adult teeth are literally forcing their way through their gums. It causes swelling, it causes pressure, and chewing is just their natural, instinctual way of trying to make it feel better.
All right, the big question on everyone's mind is, how long is this going to last? It can feel like it's going on forever, but there's actually a pretty predictable biological clock ticking away here, which brings us to a timeline.
And here's the good news. There really is a light at the end of the tunnel. It usually kicks off around 3 or 4 months. Then it hits its absolute peak between 4 and 6 months. That's going to be your prime time for frantic chewing. And then, thank goodness, it's pretty much all done by the 7-month mark.
Okay, now that we get the problem and we know how long it lasts, let's talk about the solution. And this is the best part. It's super simple, it's healthy, and you probably won't even have to make a special trip to the pet store.
That's right, we are talking about frozen vegetables. Seriously. Think of a frozen carrot stick or a green bean as a natural, totally edible teething ring for your pup. It gives them that perfect combo of firm pressure and soothing cold.
So why does this simple trick work so well? Well, first off, that cold temperature is just fantastic for calming down those sore, inflamed gums. Second, a lot of veggies have this really satisfying firm texture that's great for chewing, but it won't hurt their new teeth. And finally, they're a low-calorie, all-natural treat without any of those weird additives you sometimes find in store-bought stuff.
And honestly, when you put them side by side with a lot of commercial chew toys, the benefits are just crystal clear. You look at the ingredients, the calories, the cost. That simple choice from your freezer often comes out on top for your puppy and for your wallet.
All right, so you're ready to hit the freezer aisle. But hold on, not all vegetables are created equal, especially when it comes to our dogs. So let's get into the specifics of what you should grab, and maybe more importantly, what you should definitely leave behind.
Here is your go-to shopping list. Carrots are an absolute classic. They're tough and really satisfying to crunch on. Green beans are great too, super crunchy and low in calories. Cucumber is nice and gentle, and broccoli stems offer a bit of a tougher chew for those really determined little guys.
Now, this part is just as important, so listen up. You have to know what to avoid. Some veggies are actually toxic for dogs. The big ones are anything in the onion family, so that includes garlic and leeks. And of course, you always want to be careful about cutting things into a size and shape that won't become a choking hazard. And right here, this is the golden rule that trumps everything we just talked about. Every single puppy is different. So before you introduce any new food into their diet, a quick call to your vet is always the smartest and safest thing you can do.
So we know the what, but the how is just as crucial. Let's go over a few simple rules to make sure this is a safe and effective strategy, and talk about how it fits into your bigger plan for surviving the teething phase.
Following these 4 steps is absolutely key. 1. Always wash the veggies. 2. Cut them to a size that's right for your pup so they don't choke. 3, and this is a big one, never leave them alone with a chew treat. And 4, just remember, this is a treat for soothing their gums, not a substitute for their actual meals.
It's also really important to remember that frozen veggies are just one awesome tool in your toolbox. They work best as part of a whole system. Variety is your best friend here, so rotate between the veggies, some good rubber teething toys, maybe even a frozen damp washcloth. The goal is to always have a safe, approved option ready to go when you need to redirect their chewing.
Okay, let's bring this all home. When your house feels like it's been taken over by that tiny, adorable chewing machine, what's the one thing I really want you to remember from all of this? It's this. You have the power to help your puppy get through this really uncomfortable time. You don't need fancy, expensive gadgets. You can soothe their pain and teach them good habits with something that's simple, healthy, and incredibly effective.
It really just comes down to this simple idea. So the next time you see those tiny teeth making a beeline for your favorite pair of sneakers, just take a deep breath and take a walk to your freezer. The perfect solution might just be waiting right there for you.